Hello, I'm Em, and this is Läser, which means Em reads in Swedish. Today I'm here with my very first book haul, so I'm going to show you the books that I got during the month of September. Let's go! First book I got this month I actually got from my local library. They are giving books to me and the fellow people in my book club. The book is Hoppas of Åsa Anderberg Strollo. This book is a book in Swedish. It's written by a Swedish author, and yeah, it's about a girl who goes to Sweden's capital, Stockholm, because she's tired of life at home, so she runs away and she's trying to get a job, but she fails and she has to live on the streets, and it's a story about that, and apparently it's really sad but really good. I haven't heard very much about it, but what I've heard is good, so it seems like an interesting book, and it's always nice to read some books in Swedish because I barely read anything in Swedish. So yay, Swedish books! Next book I got was Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I've heard some booktubers say a lot of good things about this book, and it was really cheap on the book depository, so I decided to buy it because it looks really nice. The cover, it's got a lot of colors and it's really pretty, and the story sounds really nice, and apparently it's really humorous, and I like that kind of thing, so yay! It's about a guy who lives in the United States, and during his senior year of high school his mom forces him to make friends with a girl who has cancer, and yeah, like I said, it's supposed to be very humorous, and I'm looking forward to reading it a lot. While I got Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, I decided to get a few other books from the book depository that I've been dying to buy. So the second book I got is Eamon Rodgers' Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. I've already read this book. I read it as soon as I got it because I've read Morgan Matson's book Since You've Been Gone, and I loved it a lot. And this was not a disappointment. It was really, really good. I loved it. I freaking loved it. It was perfect. A lot of people have got into it thinking it was like a cutesy romance story, but it's more deep than that, and it's more of a coming of age and accepting bad things that have happened in your life story, and it's really nice. It follows a girl called Amy. Her dad died in a car crash a few months back, and she was the one who was driving, so she doesn't really want to get behind the wheel again, and she's really traumatized from the experience. But her mom decides that they're going to move to the other side of the states. So this guy who they know from her childhood comes along, and he drives her across America, and they go on a road trip. And it was really nice and feel-goody, and I really want to go on a road trip after having read this book. So yeah, it's a really good book, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And the last book I got from the book depository is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I have heard so many things about this book. Only good things. Only good things. Like, it's apparently the perfect contemporary sweet cutesy love story read. And I love those a lot, and it's really pretty. I love the pink and the Paris, and it just sounds so amazing, and I really want to read it like now. It's about a girl who has to move to Paris against her will, and then she meets this guy there or something, probably. I don't know too much about it, but it sounds really good, so yay. In the beginning of the month I went to Turkey with my family, and with me to Turkey I brought the book Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Vivian Shiova. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. In fact, I enjoyed it so much that I bought the whole trilogy as soon as I got home. So we've got Burn for Burn, Fire with Fire, and Ashes to Ashes, which apparently came out like this year sometime. I haven't read any of the others so far, but this was really, really good. It's about these 3 girls who aren't really friends, but they live on the same island, and they all want the same thing, revenge. They each have one person that they want to get revenge on. They decide to team up and take revenge on some people. And it's really nice, and it's really exciting, and it's perfect if you like normal contemporary high school life, but with twists. So it's really nice, and I really look forward to read the other 2 books. Last weekend I first went to Sundsvall to go to a convention called Kawaiicon, and their local bookshop had 20% off all of their books, so I decided that I needed to buy a book, and I bought Vi är inte sådana som i slutet får varandra av Katarina Sandberg. My friend Johanna, who runs the book blog Böcker med Johanna, I'll leave a link to her book blog down below, has read this book and she liked it, and I really like the cover. It's really nice, and I like this little heart here, and yeah, I want to read more books in Swedish, and I want to read more contemporary. So this sounds like a good book. It's about this girl who doesn't believe in romance. Her parents met on a night in France and only had a one-night stand, but she was the result of that. And she hasn't been in love like all of her life, but then suddenly she falls in love herself. So it sounds really nice and I'm looking forward to reading it. So on the way home from Sundsvall I went to Stockholm and I stopped by SF Bookhandeln, which is where a lot of good books are sold at a cheap price. So the first book I picked up there was Den femte vågen, also known as The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I decided to pick this up in Swedish because it was a lot cheaper and it was only available in Swedish, and I've been wanting to get this book for a really long time because I've heard a lot of good things about it, and its sequel, The Infinite Sea, came out this last month, so I decided that it was time for me to start reading this. So it will be the first book in a while that I read that is translated to Swedish from English, but I don't mind actually, so I'm looking forward to this very, very much because I've heard so much good about it. Then I picked up Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is the book of the month for a book club called The Little Book Club, hosted by the Little Book Owl, Catriona, on YouTube. And I've read so far all of the books that have been read in that book club, and I'm really looking forward to read this as well. It sounds really amazing. I don't really know what it's about actually, but it seems like a really good and different read from what I usually read. So I'm really looking forward to that, and books that are read in book clubs are always fun and interesting to read. So yeah. So recently this year the Harry Potter books came out in a new edition, and when I was at SF Bookhandeln they had gotten all of the Harry Potter books in those new covers, and they were so pretty that I had to buy one. And I recently started rereading the whole series, so I read the first one and I wanted to continue reading like right now. So I got the second one, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Okay, we need to take a moment to appreciate how pretty this is. Like, it's from the scene in the chamber with Fox and the snake, and Harry is like he's so small and pretty, and I love the way he's drawn here, and I love the way everything is drawn here, and I love all the stars. And Dobby is on the back. Look at him, looks so cute. So yeah, I bought it and I've started reading it. I'm almost done. I'm hoping to finish this today actually. So yeah, that's nice. Harry Potter is always the right thing to buy. So yeah, those are all of the books that I bought in the month of September. Let me know down below if you've read any of these, or if you want to read any of these, or if you just have anything to say about them. I would be really happy to know. So yeah, that was it for this video. I'll see you in my next one, whenever that is. Bye! So the second book that I got from there is... what's it even called? I forget. I read it. I promise. I read this book, but I can't remember its name. Oh my god.